Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my classroom, seniors in high school. This year I'll be teaching American institutions and AP comparative government. And of course, the location of the room this year is in F6. Welcome. This is going to be a fabulous year in taking the most important class you will take during your high school career. Let's talk about how the class is going to go. First of all, the class policies are in printed form up on Google Classroom. This is just a narrowed down version. Grading is really simple. 70% of your grade is assessments. This is quizzes and unit exams. We'll tell you how that works. Everything else is practical application. That's going to be 30% of your grade. All right. So what this says is that in this class, you must know your stuff. If your expectation is you're going to walk in and show up and be perfectly fine, it doesn't work like that in this class. In this class, you have to know some basic common knowledge of economics, and government. That's the way it's going to have to go. Let me tell you how the assessment process works, because there's a very clear structure, but you're going to be responsible for taking care of business. Number one, to take an assessment, you must have a Chromebook. And you're going to notice, too, on the first day we have an assessment, someone's going to walk in, oh, my MacBook doesn't work. And it's because they didn't pay attention and do Unit 0, Section 1, which you're looking at right now. So you must have a Chromebook to take an assessment. Now, if you want to know what exactly you're going to be assessed on, every part of this course is divided up into units and sections. All right. So for instance, you looked for Unit 0, Section 1. That is going to take you to a Hyperdoc on Google Classroom. On the Hyperdoc, which is this document right here, is the section topic, in this case, class policies, a link to a video, which is up on YouTube, and then exactly what I'm going to assess you on. In this case, identifying things, describing things, and explaining things, okay? If you do this right here, I would write it down, okay? Write down the answers. You're gonna kill every single assessment, because that's exactly what they are, okay? Right there, that's what you need to know. Now that video is going to be 12 minutes. Every video during the year, except for this one right here, which is going to be a little longer, every video is no more than 12 minutes. And if you're having, you need to have it in Spanish or closed caption or play, I don't care if you play it at 1.5 times speed if you like. It's all there for you up on YouTube. If you don't need to go through it seeing it, even though there's going to be a lot of visuals and you just hear it, if that works for you, great. But what you need to know is going to be on those videos, and they will never be more than 12 minutes, with the exception being this one right here. You have two different types of assessments, quizzes and unit exams. Your quizzes are no more than 20 questions. In fact, most of them are going to be 10, some are 15, sometimes, rarely, you have 20. They're almost always multiple choice. There's going to be a very rare time when they are short answer, but most of them are going to be multiple choice. And what happens is they start out easy, and then by the second semester, you're literally doing questions that are AP exam like, if you're taking your AP comparative government. And then if you're in AI, then the questions are going to get progressively a little more challenging. But again, all they're assessing is common knowledge, all right? Now, after you have a quiz, I return the quizzes to people after 1 week. And I don't tell you if you get well, I will show you on that quiz if you got an answer correct or incorrect. I'm not going to give you the correct answer. You're going to have to go look at that. If you haven't taken the quiz for whatever reason after 1 week, you're going to have to do the retake. And a quiz retake is going to be both multiple choice, but mixed in short answer. So you have to prove your answer. So the incentive for you is really, take that first one, get it done, knock it out of the park, so you don't have to worry about doing the retake, which is going to you have to prove more that you actually know it. And again, I will mark on that assessment, on that quiz, which questions you got incorrect, and your job is going to be going there, find out why you got it incorrect, okay? Now, in this class, we run it back. You get 1 retake that you have to finish within 2 weeks of the original quiz, okay? Now, to do that 1 retake, you must have handwritten notes. I do not accept any computer notes. Handwritten notes that answer all the prompts from the Hyperdoc. Yes, you must answer all of them. Yes, they must be correct. Okay. You may retake one quiz a day because we're going to be doing quizzes sometimes, twice a week. And so if you get behind on your quizzes, just realize you cannot take any more than one quiz in a day. Now, if you have to make up quizzes because you're absent, that's different. But if you're doing a retake, you can only do one retake a day. And again, some of them are going to be short answer questions, so you have to prove that you know. After 2 weeks, the grade becomes final. And if you haven't finished it, done it, whatever, that grade is locked in. And that means it might be locked in as a 0. Okay, so that's your responsibility to know. Now, understand that what I will do is in the grade book, I put the due date for that quiz to be 2 weeks out from the original time. And of course, when there are things like vacation days or something like that, I give you the extra day. I'm not going to be like exact strict on that. It's 2 weeks in terms of school days. There are only 2 times you can do retakes: during U time and before school. Now, understand the first 2 weeks, especially for AP Comparative Government, you're not allowed to move during your time, but you're still going to have quizzes. So if you want to do a retake, you're going to have to get here before school to do a retake. If you need to do if there's like a special circumstance, sometimes if we want to have a conversation, you want to make an appointment, we can do that. But U time and before school is the only times when you can do quiz retakes. Sometimes too, when we do unit exams, if we have extra time, I'll let you do a retake in class. Unit exams are a little bit different. Just to let you know, unit exams, except for some of the examples which I shift around, unit exams are literally those quizzes. I just take them and put them together because it's just confirming stuff that you already know. So you do really good at the quizzes, you're going to do really good at the unit exams. It's a like straight grade, bang, there it is. Okay, you're allowed to retake any unit exam on days that we have unit exams and on finals day, and you can take as many as you want. You can only take, of course, a unit exam, like if we do Unit 1's exam, and then you can retake it when we do Unit 2's exam. And if you wanted to take it again, you can do it again on finals day. And then here's the thing, though. Your grade is going to be the most recent grade. So if you do like a 70% on a Unit 1 exam, and then you get a 65% on a Unit 2 exam, or the Unit 1 exam's retake, then you're going to get the lower grade because it's the most recent grade. So you got to make sure that you are very clear. Like you're going to do a retake on a unit exam. Know your stuff because you're going to get the most recent of the test scores because that's the extent of your knowledge. That's where you're at. Okay. So those are unit exams. Attendance to this class is absolutely essential. People miss class for a variety of reasons: sports, academics, clubs, sickness, all kinds of things, vacation. Why you're gone does not concern me. It is up to you. You're a senior in high school now, you know the deal. If you're going to be gone for any length of time, you're going to have to be organized. The number one reason people do not pass this class is they don't show up. If you don't show up, if you're going to miss one day a week, you're probably not going to pass this class. That is just the way it is. If you're going to go on short-term independent study for a month, you're still responsible for everything, and you're going to have to come back and immediately retake, do all the assessments, and you're going to have to turn in any work that I have given you that is going to be posted online. And you must have online access if you are going to go on independent study and successfully complete the course. Okay. If you don't have online access, that's something you have to deal with in terms of the school district because it is required. All right. So make sure you are organized. Cell phones in the class are not allowed. There's going to be a cell phone caddy on the side there with your name connected to a number. You're going to be at that number for the rest of the year. When you come in, put it in there. There is no exception. It is not optional. If you have a problem with that, that is entirely something you're going to have to take up somewhere else. Not only is it the law in my class, not only is it the law for Ukiah Unified School District, it is the law for the state of California. When you're using the restroom, it stays in the caddy. You don't take it with you. Okay? If you do, then I take it. And then we start having issues with the office and doing all that stuff. So, cell phones, away. Okay? Now, here's the deal. Real world stuff does happen, especially with seniors. So if you have a serious issue with a family member on the very, very rare occasion, or some people sometimes have an interview time they have to schedule, or they're expecting their recruiter to call, or something like that, just come talk to me. And you're like, I'm going to have my phone, it's going to be on silent. And what I'll tell you is, like, when you get that call, simply step outside. That's it. Again, that's going to be the super rare event. But real life happens, and we know how that works. Okay? Don't be a big deal about the bathroom. One person goes at a time. Be responsible. All right? There is no bathroom passes the first or last 10 minutes. I have a Minga Chromebook set up over there on the other side of the room. Be there and back. If you do misuse it, I'll revoke it and do all that kind of thing. Otherwise, just that's it. If you're gone over an extended period of time, I'm just going to tell you, like, you're banned from a bathroom pass for, I start with, like, a week, and then I go to 2 weeks, and then I go to 3 weeks, and then I just then eventually say, you're not doing it anymore. So chill. Okay. Dress code, Ukiah High School says clothing that is distracting to learning and working environment may result in violence is not allowed. That's Ukiah Unified School District's dress code. This is excessively revealing, inappropriate for professional workplace, and it promotes violence or things that are a violation of laws, any racial, ethnic, religious prejudice, any unsafe for work, which most people at the school don't deal with. If you have a problem with dress codes or interpretation of dress codes, you have to prove to me why that they are somehow biased. And be careful, because I will be very direct with you if you want to have that discussion. By the way, there is another dress code violation that will get you kicked out of my class. If you wear Dodger gear, because the Dodgers are terrible, go Giants. Last thing I'm really going to hit here is tardies. We do assessments immediately as you come into class. So bang. If you're late, you're not going to be able to access the assessment, and your grade's going to drop. It's going to plummet. So if you have a thing about being late, please understand that your grade will go down, and then you're going to stress yourself out. The other thing that will happen is, first of all, if you're late like once a month, I'm not going to hassle you. Things happen, okay? But if I see a consistent pattern of tardiness, we go, this is what happens after the first. A concern check, formal warning, I call parents, get on an attendance contract with the office, Saturday school, revoke lunch path. On the 8th, then you lose good classroom standing, which means that I assign your seat. I choose what type of assignment you will do, and I will decide what groups you're going to be working with. And understand that I'm going to use that with prejudice, big time. And then when you get to 9th, then I will talk to the athletic director or your coach or your advisors and tell them you should not be going on field trips. You should probably get a reduction in playing time. That you are not being a good teammate because you're not fulfilling your part of being a good teammate, which is showing up and having a good academic standing, so you can be out there and supporting each other and the school. And then finally, on your 10th, then I ask that you get excluded from extracurriculars, because those are privileges, those are not rights. And so be here on time. You're going to do fantastic. If you need to contact me, I am here usually about an hour before school starts. If you want to sit down and talk to me about something during lunch or after school, then come in and make an appointment with me. My phone number is 472-5836. Obviously, during school hours, I'm probably not going to answer it because I am teaching. The best way to get a hold of me is jsilverbrown@uusd.net. I will try to answer you within 24 hours. Usually I'm notorious for getting up very early. So like at 3:30 in the morning, I'm checking email. So if you see early morning emails, don't be shocked, because that's what I'm doing. Now, this is exactly, if you match this with what you saw with the Hyperdoc, you know exactly what you're going to be assessed on. All right. Look, your seniors, This is going to be a great class. It's going to be as good as you want to make it. It's going to make you look at the world different. Enjoy your time, your senior year in Silva Brown's AI and AP Comparative Government class.